So yeah, my question is Plone a good choice for large B2C websites? And first I throw in a quick introduction and an agenda of my presentation. So first I want to introduce myself, my company and my customer or our customer, and yeah. Then I want to go into the requirements, so I want to summarize it quickly what we had to do. And this also leads directly into the implementation, so what did we have to do for general requirements, technical requirements, and how could we create a good solution for it. And at the end I want to summarize it and want you to help me to answer the question, was it a good idea to use Plone? You find this agenda on the left side, and so you will see where we are. So I'm Lukas Guziel. I'm a software developer and project manager, and I'm doing this. I'm working for Interactive GmbH, and we're an online agency in Cologne, and this is in Germany. We're using open source CMS systems, for example Plone, of course, and Magento for shop systems, and also doing online marketing and web design. Our customer was Suzuki. So Suzuki is a leading worldwide automotive and motorbike manufacturer. And in this case, I'm showing you the motorbike site. On the 5th of October, so a few days ago, the page went online. And there was the Intermod in Cologne. So it's a big mess where they show the new motorbikes, they show the new stuff, and also, of course, our new site. And this is this website. So this once was implemented with Plone 5. And now I want to go into detail, what did we have to do to make this happen. So is Plone a good choice for large B2C websites? Who uses Plone? There is a list, if you look at plone.org, of a lot of governments, NGOs. So there are some names, but the big players, they are missing. That's one part of the thing is that there are a lot of intranet systems. So you really don't know who is really using Plone, and maybe it has to be something with brand awareness or something else. But you really can't tell the value, what they are. So I want to talk about the quick gains for companies using Plone. So what do we do to what do we do for customizations? What add-ons are from Plone there already to make this page happen? And how's the security working for us? And at the end, it is the question to answer. So the general requirements was you get a strict layout for the whole page. And it's like in every project. But here it comes to that there are specifications. So you get a lot of specifications. This is good because you have everything written down what needs to get done on this page. But it's also a bit difficult because you want to get a good solution for your customer, and you need to get the technical part and the specifications together to get a good solution. And sometimes this is difficult. So for example, there's multi-site management, so you have different roles of users and want to get this into several sites. You have front-end editing, so you can edit the page dynamically as you feel you're just on one page, you see directly the result and other things. And there's personalized content. It's still a big subject, and I think that's one of the most important things that's coming. The example is you're on the page and you directly see I am from Cologne, I see the map on Cologne, and it knows it and it feels me like I'm home. And of course there are a lot of other things. Technical requirements, so it goes a bit technical more. There's a tile system I want to go into later on. For example, you need working copy, inline editing, and so on. There's a content proxy. You need RSS content in Plone. So, for example, you can use search engine for it. There's image cropping, SEO optimizations, PDF generation, inline editing. So you see there's a lot to do. And yeah, I want to jump in some parts of it. For example, the tile system, what we did, we created our own tile system. Now, I think you will ask yourself, why did they don't use Plone App Mosaic? As we started with the project, Plone App Mosaic was in kid shoes, so it really wasn't that developed, and we had a lot of special workflows that we had to implement, and there are some custom creation process for tiles and a special layout. So that's why we created our own tile system. So to give a quick idea, we have a content type, tiles. It's a container, and there you have rows in it, and in these rows are tiles, but I will show it to you after that. And yeah, you have a special workflow you can set on one position, on one base position. You need an API for the front-end editing, and you need modals to edit stuff that isn't editable through inline editing. So this was it looks like the tiles editor from us on the Suzuki page, and there are 3 rows. So you see there on the bottom of the side there are actions. You can remove it, you can move it. So these are the 3 rows. It's like an image and text, and here is an upper. It's a headline, and in these rows there are several tiles. For example, this is a row with 3 text tiles. So it's like built like Mosaic, just that you get more stricter tiles. So you have like a 3 text tile and it builds you already 3 texts. So we can handle a bit more what we give the customer. Okay, and if you click on, for example, an edit button, it opens the modal. As I said, if you have to edit something more, you can choose an image there. You can set a link or set an alt and title tag. Yeah. So the PDF generation, there we had 2 choices between WheezyPrint and LaTeX that are Python modules. LaTeX you almost saw for mathematics and so on, or I think the Plone documentation book is made with LaTeX. It's a really good thing. We use it as in other projects, but it's really large, and so you need a lot of time to use it. And WheezyPrint is the module where you can write your code in HTML and CSS, so most know that, and it generates you a PDF. It's really good, and for us it works good because we had a simple layout and just put data in it. The inline editing was also very easy for us because Plone has the TinyMC4, and with a 2-liner you can just implement it, and there's the 3 text tile. You should just double click and you can edit it with the tools there. The RSS content. Yeah, so if you want RSS in Plone, you get you can put the feed in it, but you don't have it as content. And this was a problem for us because we have RSS in sliders, in overviews, so on a lot of positions, and you want to use the search word to finding them, and so we need to index them somehow, so we created an own content type with dexterity for it. And there were a lot of APIs, so you get data from this and there. For example, the motorbikes, they have a special database for it, and they support Python module SATs, which was really helpful for us. And yeah, I just recommend to look into it. It's a good thing. Yeah, here comes the other part. It's image cropping. So there is a Plone product for image cropping, but it's not migrated for Plone 5. so it was difficult because we needed a cropping tool, and then we had to thought about it. Can we migrate it, or do we something else? And this was very difficult to migrate it. And we looked into the code and see what did they and what can we do. So they used the cropper as a jQuery application, and build it like the same way, more easily, so you don't have all the functionality. But it's a good first step to using cropping in Plone 5, and maybe this is a thing we can put into the community. The next thing is the SEO optimizer. It's a thing from Quinta Groups, and it's also a product which is not migrated yet. And this is one of our most likely products. We use it on every page, because you can edit the metadata. It's very good for SEO optimization, of course. And we had to do there something different too, create something different. And it was we did it with rules and the rules XML from Diazo. So we put our metadata in somewhere in the content, and it just replaced it on the same page. So it's a small thing, but you can do a lot of it with it. So we would love to get this migrated too. And the third thing is the Plone form gen. It's based on archetypes, so it's like not for Plone 5. But what I've heard now from the last keynote, there is collective easy forms. So we should definitely look into that. Now we use Plone form gen, but the collective easy forms is also dexterity. So there's a good solution for that. But these are our main things we want on our page, because it gives us a good amount of editable stuff, and it's just from Plone, so you can just install it and it works. Okay, and then there's the Plone app testing. So you have everything to test, like white box, black box, acceptance test, which you need to get a secure feeling about your page. And it's all in Plone app testing there, so that's all that we need. It was very good. Also the documentation, there's things, so it's automated. You can create an RST file and it just generates you the whole documentation. So this was really helpful for us. So in general, when I list up the pros and the cons, in Plone 5 now we have a good looking interface in the backend for an easy integration in Diazo. We have an interactive editing backend, so there's all JavaScript implemented, so you can do everything on one page. Of course, the ZODB, it's an object-oriented database, which is very secure. And also the security on the application level. For example, the workflows, you can just type in an URL and it works for you. There's on the lowest level, there's security for you. So nobody can do things with no permission. It's infinitely extendable with Zio cluster, so it's not that the page can grow as much as it wants. You can build up any more clients and do it with a load balancer. It helps us really much to get every big site running. And of course there's Plone app testing, Plone app caching, things and so on, which helps us a lot. On the cons side, as I mentioned, there are just a little amount of extensions that are already migrated for Plone 5. Like I said, like the SEO optimizer, the cropping tool, or Plone form ban, but I put this back. There's easy forms we have to check out. And so now I want to throw the question in the round. What do you think? Was it a good choice to use Plone? You have to stand up and say something. Yeah.
What was your traffic numbers? Were your content editors happy using the features of Plone to put in all the information about the motorbikes? How was your project received at the client?
Yeah, the project has received very good. So you can do a lot with, for example, varnish or something to get the good performance. And yeah, so this was a good part, and yeah, so it doesn't, yeah, it doesn't was a, I don't know how to say that, but yeah, it doesn't exit on the speed. This was not a problem for us. Yeah.
When did you start the project? Delivered in October.
Yeah, right. So this was a really short project, but there are other sites from Suzuki we had to start earlier. So, and the tile system went further back with other pages. Like it started in Plone 4 for us. So this motor site was like I think 4 months ago.
Okay. There's a lot of maybe experience or connection with the community, or knowing what's going on, or worked a long time already with Plone.
Yeah.
PDF generation, there's some very good modules for those. EA PDF, for example. The feed stuff I know it's still archetypes, but I know we created it for 8 years ago. Products feed feeder that does it, but it's archetypes and not dexterity, so that might hurt.
Okay.
Image cropping was made available for Plone 5 in March 2016.
Okay.
So there's a lot of things that I think, okay.
Yeah, well,
but of course,
yeah.
it's not, of course, not critical. I'm looking
Yeah.
back at myself like, wait a minute, you're doing all this stuff when I know that a large part of these modules have been created for Plone 5. So that's something we really have to fix. Because a lot of maybe could have made it easier for you, partly, to have parts of this functionality already catered to you by using the upgraded module if you had known it existed.
yeah, okay, yeah, maybe this was the thing. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm curious. Other than I don't know what else the website does other than sort of pictures and brochures of the product, for example. But is there an online quoting system? Is there sort of a contact? Like if somebody's interested in a particular motorbike, do they interact with the site more to get more information? Do you do ordering? Can somebody buy a motorbike through the site?
So you can order. So in the future there will be a functionality to order, not to buy a bike, but you can order a test drive. And so there's a forum where you search your motorbike, and it shows you, okay, 10 kilometers from here now, it's in this shop, and you can try it out for like 1 week, and you fill out the form, and then it goes into buying. Yeah.
So did they add all the product data themselves kind of manually then, like as a content type? How was that handled?
Sorry, please.
They went in and added all the product data, like for each bike?
Okay, so there's an API, so they have a database. It's called the PDB, and there where all the motorbikes data came from. So we used this Python module SATS and created this as a Plone content type, but automatically. So we have the cron job which runs nightly and create the new motorbikes. Okay, and thank you very much. Yeah.